Hi there. You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. This is the way.
Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, welcome one and all. Today is December 10th, 2024, and this is episode 189 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs, what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. Woo, goodness gracious. I'm CQ. I'm the Pop Culture Warrior, and joining me now is the man in the bubble. He is the Marine with the mandible. Everybody, you missed him, you loved him, he's back! Mr. Mad Mike! What's good, homie?
Not much.
Hey, everybody on TikTok world and Facebook world.
China.
And MySpace and AOL and OnlyFans, Footfinder, and all the others, Grinders, YellowPages.com. What's up? How you guys doing? Are you only on Facebook or YouTube as well? So, peek behind the curtain, since I'll answer that question since it was asked so nicely. I do a multi-stream where horizontally we're live across multiple pages of Facebook, multiple pages of YouTube, Twitter, and all these different places. And then I do separately a vertical stream. So you can find us on things like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, all these other places. For some reason tonight, my horizontal's working fine, but my vertical has decided to just shit the bed. So outside of I think TikTok's the only place that we are live vertically. It is what it is. It's if you watched FTX last Friday, man, my top down camera decided to just not work. Like literally was working before the show, went live, not working. After the show, I was like, all right, let me figure out what's wrong with it. Working again. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know. But it's all good. It's all good. Man,
Probably a user error, most likely.
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
Yeah, unplug it and plug it back in.
You flick the light switch on and off.
It's like 3 years of IT work. Saved you right there.
Yes, I flicked the light switches on while I was rubbing my belly and tapping my head. It was a whole thing. Did not work.
Insider information.
I sacrificed the goat to the gods of IT. It's a whole thing. Anywho, welcome back, man. How was your time off, buddy?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's always fun not having to be here.
Any day I don't have to be here is a good day.
I take a month off. You take a month off.
That's all right. It's all right.
Just get the AIs to run the show.
Yeah. What's to say we aren't already AI? What's to say that we're real? Who's to say? What's to say? So yeah, I'm like AI because you know how AI can't do hands correctly?
Yeah.
I'm already AI. Dude, the last time we did a show together was Halloween, our Halloween episode. My God. I mean, for me to be the number one and for you to be the number two and us not to do shows together, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. But appreciate all y'all for tuning in tonight. Let's see. Charles, that camera said it's Friday. I'm not working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Fuck that, bitch.
this ain't butt stuff. I ain't filming this.
This is, as a top-down camera, this is not what I was designed for. It's designed for gratuitous shots from above. So it is the season of giving you. Yes, ants. Homie is missing a finger. That's right. Homie had it blown off in Afghanistan. Sounds like y'all took the psychedelics pregame. If you ever do audiences for co-host, I'm in. Oh man, Charles, God bless you, man. We always talked about that, like maybe doing like once a quarter. We're having like a audience co-host extravaganza or something like that. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. So it is the month of giveaways. So
We have nothing to give away.
that's live.
Trick. It's a trick.
And let's see if I can leave. There's piles of stuff in the background that is just ready to go. His fingers running secret missions, Black Ops style in Afghanistan. Left it behind. You never leave a man behind, but a finger, that's fine.
He's a new character on the Call of Duty game.
Yes, there's a new skin for an operator. It's just a finger running around the map. So last week we had 4 winners, I believe it was. And of those 4 winners, Charles got his, which I see you, Charles, in the thing. You sent me a picture of him holding his flag, which is awesome. I think Ton got his prize. I still have to ship out Billy's prize and Captain Wayne's prize, because Captain Wayne, I have to pull his stuff out of storage, and Billy, he got this big poster that I have like these thin shipping tubes that I'm worried I would have to roll that poster so tight that it will like damage the integrity of the poster. So I'm going to order like thicker, like I call them Mad Mike's size shipping containers.
You gotta get them extra wides.
The extra, the tuna can. No, so I ordered extra large shipping containers so that I can send him the poster more loosely rolled up, because this is a very, very nice poster.
What happened when you're doing a lot of cock stroking hand gestures, okay? You need to tone it down a little. Like William H. Macy over here. He's jerking dicks.
Oh, man. Yes, Charles. Yeah, got my MGS signed flag. Loved it. It will be framed. Yes, I love it. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the chats. Chats, where you at? Chats, where you at?
Oh, man.
Where are all my chats at? It's weird. Oh, there they are. Okay, cool. Cool.
Probably in the chats section.
Too much air dicking. Yep, doing a lot of air dicking tonight.
There we go.
I still have that clip of you, Mike, where you're just like...
We got like 17 of you right now. Snippets like crazy.
It's like throwing a poster down the hallway. I like
do
it.
that again, please.
All right. Anyway, but yeah, there's it. So for the folks at home, let's see if my zoom out works. See, it's not. See, it's just not working tonight. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see what else. Is there anyone out there in whatever land you're watching from that has not, at some point along the history of this show, won a prize on Pop Culture Warrior? Because I'd love to know if there's anyone out there left, because I want to believe
98% of the audience, the same 5 people win it every time.
Listen, if they tune in, they are worth winning. right? They're worth getting a prize if they put up with this bullshit. they
Worth it.
deserve. They
Well, are they
deserve a
gonna win?
prize.
No, because this shit's rigged. Might as well call you Hillary Clinton over here.
Oh Jesus Christ! Tonight, joining us, we're gonna cover some news and things that are happening this first hour. In the second hour, I do have a short 30-minute pre-recorded interview with 6-time Emmy-nominated director Michael John Warren. He's gonna be talking about his new film FREEDIVER, and so there will be that interview. And to make it fun and interesting, I said, for those of you that watch the interview, I'm gonna do a little quiz. If you want to win some prizes tonight, it's not gonna be random. It's if you want to win some prizes, I'll ask 3 questions. 3 questions after the interview is played. The first person to answer each question will win a prize. So there you go. That's simple. Pay attention. Be the first to buzz in and answer the question.
It'll be real easy because it's like actually 2 minutes of actual questions, 28 minutes of you talking about yourself.
Yeah, that's yeah. So
tune in the last 3 minutes.
Mott says this shows us it's as fixed as the narrative of the CEO shooter. Yeah, it's all fixed. I've not won anything, but if I ever did, I would pass it off to someone else. Well, Jim, that doesn't help. If you haven't won and now you're gonna win and then pass it off to somebody else, that's not helpful. Not helpful. But if somebody's out there that hasn't won a prize, let me know, and we will make sure that they
you still won't win a prize.
Win a prize. Shut up. Pookie's out there in TikTok land. How y'all doing? Hey, Pookie. How you doing? Pookie in TikTok land. Look at you. Look at you. Next prizes will be Huck to a coin. Yes, Huck to a coin. I'm giving it out. I'm giving it away as part of a prize.
Get those EFTs, and that was a big scam apparently.
Yeah. Are you like Santa Claus giving out gifts in the month of December? Yes. In the month of December, yes, I am like Santa Claus. I am giving out gifts. I give out prizes and boxes and posters and bags and toys and collectibles because I'm a huge nerd, and screw it, I love giving stuff away. Couple headlines. Scott, I've not won a prize. Scott, you've won a prize before. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. You've won a prize. I know you've won a prize. Let's see. What are headlines? Oh. Creature Commandos finally came out. The first official James Gunn run property from the DC universe. Have you gotten a chance to see it yet?
Nah.
Nah, not interested.
I saw the trailer. I kind of know how it goes.
It's basically animated Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
You know.
That's exactly what I figured. So it's like, I know how it's gonna go. I don't need to watch it. I'll wait for the real stuff.
I'll wait for it on streaming. But then it's like, it is streaming.
Yeah.
The real prize is the friends we meet along the way. Nice. There you go. I like it.
It's too deep for our show. Get that fucking positivity out of here.
Yeah, get out of here with that nicety nonsense. No, Creature Commandos. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. I watched the first 2 episodes, and it's weird. It's weird because it really does just feel like animated Suicide Squad, right? It's a group of powered individuals going on to a foreign land to do a mission, and it is what it is. But it's a little more. I don't know. It's a little more. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's just weird. Whereas Suicide Squad, the live action movie, was it's an action movie. It's a very action movie. This is like, I don't know, like narrative driven. Like, it's there's some comedy. There's a lot of weirdness. There's a lot of fucking. There's a lot of fucking in the first 2 episodes. There is an essay basically in the first episode, and then spoiler alert, if you've ever wondered what it was like to see Dr. Frankenstein fuck the bride of Frankenstein, you can see that happen. It's weird. It's really
That's
weird.
fucking funny. They're
Yeah.
like, somebody read that and they're like, let's make this guy the guy in charge.
It's
This is
weird.
everything we've ever wanted.
It's weird because
He's in charge of it all now.
he
He does the
keys to
most
the kingdom.
cocaine.
Keys to the kingdom. Like, here's my thing. If you're like, obviously they're trying to push the adult tone, right, of this, like an animated R rating, because there's definitely lots of guts and gore and killing and obviously fucking and like animated butt cheeks and like it's weird. It's weird to me because like I'm again I grew up on Batman
It's like
animated
everything
series.
you've ever wanted. Just
Like I
different
grew up on like
characters.
Batman the animated series and gargoyles and all like these really, and then I watched this and it's like it's not meant for kids obviously, but it's
on HBO, isn't it?
but it's yeah and but it's not necessarily adult. It's weird when they have a woman walking naked and like she's drawn out but doesn't have certain, she doesn't have nipples, which is just weird. Like it's like remember the old school, like when they would hint at things, it would be like in shadow and in silhouette. So it was like that, only without the silhouette, but you can still see that. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's
They
just
got
weird.
standards too. Like it's
It's
probably
weird.
like this will be NC-17 if there's nipples.
Yeah.
But you got
Like you
full
can get
cock and
away
balls.
with her
Yeah.
naked as long as she doesn't have nipples. And it's like,
Stupid
what?
shit like that. Yeah.
It's just weird, man. It's weird. So yeah, I mean, the action's good. The action's pretty good, man. You see people throw down and it's good. It's just weird. The tone is just strange. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's just seeing what he can get away with. This was made before he took over everything.
Right. Technically it was made before he took over. Now
He's like just dicking around.
here's what's interesting. We know that this is the first official DCU canon event. It does reference things that happened like in Suicide Squad and all that, which they say if we mention it, that makes it canon. So now that stuff's canon. But this is like the first property. We know that Rick Flag Sr. is voiced by Frank Grillo, who is going to appear as Rick Flag Sr. in Superman. So he will be reprising his character in the live action, which like, all right, that's cool. Going from animated to live action. Cool. What's weird though is like I've seen set photos of Frank Grillo in Superman, and he looks like Frank Grillo with like body armor on. But in this series, he's like this very tall, very white, gray-haired individual. And Frank Grillo in real life is none of those things. He's not tall,
short,
he's not gray.
Yeah.
So they
didn't even dye his hair for like the thing.
That's the thing. I saw the set photos and I'm like, unless they're gonna fix it in post, it's just weird because he's full jet black hair. But here in the animated show, which takes place before, unless they're saying like what they're filming that we see, like maybe it's a flashback. But that would be weird. I don't know, man. It's weird. What can I say? It's weird. Hey, Jay in TikTok. All right. Hi to you too. Let's see. Looking at some of the comments here. First time viewer, Jorge. What's up, my man? Shout out, Jorge. First time viewer. God bless, man. Scott says it doesn't feel immersive. Welcome to Guns DC. Jim says animated butt cheeks is my street name. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Animated butt cheeks.
You can really tell Gen Z wrote it. Why go half-assed? That's funny. At least heavy metal showed the goods. That's right. That's right.
You see,
It's
they
true.
have Daniel Craig coming on as Sergeant Rock.
I mean, apparently they have a lot of voice talent. Like David Harbour is Frankenstein, I think.
Oh, really?
That guy's in everything now.
He does everything.
He
Yeah.
just does everything. Let's see what else. Yeah. So that's, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it ramps up, and I'm wondering if they'll go 3 for 3 with sex scenes in episode 3 as well. I mean, I don't know.
Probably. It's
It's
part of the
just
whole
weird.
thing. Why stop when you're on a run?
Man, yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. Let's see.
Ooh, excuse me.
So
Did you
go ahead.
did you see I posted it. I know you saw it because I posted it, but they gave a little hint at the new Spider-Man movie, what it's kind of going to focus on.
Please
It's
enlighten us.
basically what's her name? Pascal.
Mhm.
Had said that it's going to focus more on less on Peter Parker, more on Spider-Man himself. So
Finally.
he feels Peter Parker, he can't be Peter Parker and be Spider-Man, so he's just going to be Spider-Man, which is pretty interesting take. I think it's kind of like they did the opposite in the Sam Raimi ones where he kind of they did the same thing where he kind of gives it up after Mary Jane and shit, and he's just doing that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Theme.
We'll see. Yeah, actually, Scott, I saw your question. I want to touch on that real quick. Secret Level is also out now on Amazon Prime. Have you caught Secret Level yet, Mike?
No, I saw that. I just read that earlier today. I was reading the I'm gonna spoil it, but I don't give a shit. Warhammer stuff. They mentioned it in that article.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's interesting to me. All right, so Secret Level, for those that don't know, is basically an anthology series where every episode comes from like a different realm of pop culture, telling a whole different story. So like in episode 1 was Dungeons and Dragons, episode 2 was
games. Isn't it all games or no?
It's hard for me to say because some of them I didn't recognize. So
okay.
Maybe. But like episode 2 is my throat. Damn, winter. Episode 2 is Sifu, which is one of my favorite games of all time. Phenomenal game.
I think you mentioned that game before. That's like
Every time he dies, he gets older. So like he comes back to life, but he's older. So like when he's younger, he's faster and more nimble. But as he gets older, he becomes stronger. Like he's slower, but he's stronger and better fighter. So they did like a whole animated thing about that.
So it's like little movie type deals or something.
Yeah. Here's the problem for me. Visually, I like it. From a story sense, it's really cool to see these different stories. It's a tease. It's a tease, So like the Dungeons and Dragon ones, we build up to this epic moment where there's gonna be this final show. It's like a very Avengers style where like the team comes together and they're like, let's do this, and they're gonna fight the big bad thing, and then it's like end credits.
What?
And you're like,
really?
and you're like,
that
wow,
shit.
that was built for nothing, and we know we're not coming back to that. So some of them have a nice, like the Sifu episode, I felt had a nice start to end. Like it told its story, and then that's it. It bookended it nicely. But some of them definitely feel like a tease of something more that you're not going to get.
He's probably like hoping they'll do either movies from like kind of give him ideas for movies, or maybe they'll do another season and then he'll, need some more fodder.
Literally going to say that it really feels to me almost as if a straw poll to say like, hey, you like any of this? A little bit of this.
It's like 15 different pitches.
Exactly.
You could have these good games.
It's genius when you think about it that way. Look at what happened with Marvel's What If, right? It was its own self-contained thing, and people went nuts for the zombie episode. Now the zombies is going to be its own show. So it really feels like that they're just testing the water to see what's going to connect.
Stick.
Because we've talked about a dungeon. I mean, obviously there's a Dungeons and Dragons movie, but we've talked about shows before. We talked, Warhammer has been trying to get off the ground forever. Or is it 40 Warhammer 40K is trying to get off the ground forever, and so it's I don't know. I like it visually. From a storytelling perspective, I get if you're only gonna do a 30-minute episode, fucking give me an ending.
Yeah.
Don't give me
Just
blue balls.
waste your time if you don't get a fucking ending.
Yes. Hey, Ton in the house. What's up, man? How you doing? I was just telling them that I sent you your prize from last week, and hopefully you got it.
I mean, a prize.
Yeah, and so I don't know, man. Like that's I'm okay with cliffhangers.
If you don't end it, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, I'm okay with cliffhangers if we're going
the next episode's following up. Or like if it's HBO, I gotta wait 3 years, but I'll get the ending eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And I'll be disappointed so much.
Yeah,
I wish I hadn't.
I just want to. I don't care at this point. I just want a fucking ending.
Yeah. I was like, they did the very like the Barry Sanders, like end on your high point and retire and never come back. Yeah. Tom says he did get his prize. There you go, buddy. Congratulations. Thanks for watching. So there's that. Other things are coming out too. But like I think the biggest news that came out this week, which I should be super excited about, but I'm kind of on the fence about. Chris Evans is coming back to Avengers for Doomsday. Yeah. Now, he's been cast in what they're calling a mystery role. I highly doubt he's coming back as Captain America. The same way that Robert Downey's coming back as Doom, I could easily see Chris Evans coming back as a completely different character.
I'll fucking tell you right now.
Okay, tell me right now.
Human Torch.
He's not gonna be the Human Torch is dead.
He's a thoroughbred. He's already done it. It was highly successful. He just did it again in fucking Deadpool versus Wolverine.
He was left as a bag of
and everyone
nothing.
Loved it.
He was left as
that was another world. He's in world 992, not 999.
Man.
No, I had I was thinking maybe it's a far reach. They did you probably, I know you heard of it. It was a comic book run where they brought in like a Captain America that looked like Steve Rogers from Hydra or whatever. He's like
Captain
Flag
Hydra?
Stomper, Flag some shit.
Flag Smasher is one of them.
Flag Smasher. Maybe they're doing some shit like that. Like he's like a evil kind of Captain America.
He could be Captain Hydra,
Or
like
they're banking on, Brave New World sucking balls, and they're gonna bring back the good shit.
Dude, Scott makes a really.
But supposedly they got Anthony Mackie back in it too. Like he's announced also, like yesterday or this morning.
So, how crazy if they pull this off? They bring back all the original 6, right? They bring back Chris Hemsworth. They bring back Scarlett Johansson, but each one is playing a variant of Doctor Doom. So, like, literally, it's like, I'm Doctor Doom, and he pulls the mask off, and it's Robert Downey. Then I'm Doctor Doom, and he pulls off the mask, and it's Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson and fucking Edward Norton coming back from the original
that would be good.
Hulk. But he's like, oh, sorry, and then pulls that off. It's Mark Ruffalo.
That probably because Doom is like one of the most powerful characters in Marvel.
Yeah.
So they're probably sticking with the stupid time space bullshit, and there might be like something where because Fantastic Four, you can do a number of things how they become fantastic. So it could be some kind of weird time bullshit or whatever, and then they either come out to fight and he like flicks them away or something, or they're in another time zone or some shit. Time, not zone, whatever they call it.
So
period.
How do we feel about this though? About Chris Evans coming back? Because here's the thing. I was okay. Like I wasn't over the moon about Robert Downey coming back to play Doctor Doom. Like Give someone else a chance.
1,000 other fucking people.
Yeah.
And he acts the same, honestly, acts the same fucking way all the time, which is Tony Stark. Like, that's how he fucking is.
Except for in Tropic Thunder. He really stepped out of his...
He's Black Tony Stark. It's the same fucking thing.
Hey, listen here.
He's a little more bass in his voice. So it's like, yeah, like he's always that like extravagant, over the top, which I don't know. Doom's kind of more mellow type deal. I'm not thrilled about it. But
I mean, he has
we'll
the
see. They
same
got a bunch of people to do it.
egomania that Stark has, but it's like it's literally like if you took Tony Stark's like egomaniacal side, mixed that with like Thor's royalty side, sprinkled in with like Doctor Strange smarts or Reed Richards smarts with Doctor Strange mysticism. You put all that together as you get like a Doctor Doom. So I'd love to see him play
like the main reason I don't like it is because it's confusing fucking people. Because not everyone like care. Like most people don't look into this shit. They've never read the fucking comic books ever. They only know the movies, and now they're gonna be like, I thought that's Iron Man. Why is he wearing silver and green? Where's his suit? Like, where's the fucking thing in his chest?
Iron Man's going for a new look now, man. It's weird.
Like, what? It's weird, yeah. This is a weird ghetto. We got fucking Wish Iron Man up here.
I mean, look, if anything, we know the Russos are doing it, and the Russos have absolutely smashed it every time they've come up to bat. So I'm praying that they deliver something we're not expecting, something powerful. Nothing. Don't bring him back just for the sake of bringing him back, right? Like, make it make sense in the story. Make it impactful in the story. You're going to use Robert Downey. I mean, obviously he's an excellent actor and all, but what does it mean for when Spider-Man sees him, right? Like, that should be devastating, like make it emotionally impactful, not just oh no, like make it really mean something.
What do you think they're going to use it like? Pretend like he's Tony Stark type deal, but now he's Doctor Doom?
I hope not. Although it's classic comic book, really. If you really classic comic book is the old I tricked you by looking like someone else.
It would kind of be funny if they did like it's some other dude like you or whatever, and then they go into space and they get radiated, and then it's like fucking because a thing turns into the Rock shits or whatever, and
comes
then
back looking like Robert.
He comes back looking like a fucking Tony Stark or whatever. And that would fuck everyone up. Like you said, Spider-Man would like fucking Tom Holland would be crying like a little bitch, and you could beat his ass. Dude. You have like the Thing come back as like the Rock.
Okay, go with me here. What if this is the route they go? And I have nothing to base this on other than this is just a fever fanboy dream. What if one of the things that Tony Stark was working on before his passing was like cloning, right? And he was like growing another Tony Stark who then through, I don't know, fucking make up some random explanation of how he grew up, fucking got out. Or even somebody, fucking Hydra. They got his DNA and they wanted to make their own Tony Stark. And then he becomes, Victor Von Doom. You have to rewrite the origin of Victor Von Doom.
He could have, like, whatever, he did all the clones and had them in space, like that stupid satellite system thing.
Yeah.
And then the Richard Reeds and them go to space, and the like dude switches bodies or something with them, and he's all fucking powerful.
Yeah, he did perfect nanotechnology. That's true. I don't know if I'm pulling too much from like Rick and Morty with like the body backups, the body doubles.
Yeah.
Like every time he dies, another one gets booted
Morty.
up.
What number am I?
The shittiest Moana crossover. Yeah, I mean, so Scott says, I've never been a big comic book reader, nor have I gone back to read them. I just enjoy the movies, don't criticize or fall asleep. Unless it was generally stupid, I'll criticize then. Not that I know from the comic, though. Yeah. Angry Elf says, I'm holding out that RDJ Doom is just a fake out, that Viggo Mortensen will actually be the true Doom.
He's too fucking old right now.
Yeah.
Seen him lately? He's old as fuck.
Was it Cillian Murphy? Cillian Murphy, I think could crush a good
Killian. He's fucking Irish.
Villian.
Killian's Irish red.
Villian Murphy. Cillian Murphy, I think. Cillian Murphy got it.
Should bring in what's his face?
Yeah, that guy.
Superman guy that got fired.
Oh, fucking Tyler Heineke.
No, the guy, the popular dude. He plays video games. Fucking the last Superman we had.
The last Superman
in The Witcher. What's his name? God damn, he's
fucking Henry
popular.
Cavill?
Yeah, bring in Henry fucking Cavill.
Henry Cavill's not technically the last Superman we had. Last Superman is Tyler Hockney in the CW Superman show.
No one watches CW. The fucking channel doesn't exist. Get the fuck out of here.
Listen, you show some respect.
A 14-year-old girl?
What is it? 22 years they've been producing superhero content for the CW.
Crappy, boppy bullshit.
You show some damn respect.
As soon as you get your period, you're supposed to stop watching the CW. Jesus Christ. It's in the fine print.
Oh God. I'm gonna make shirts. Make sure to say that.
What is it? Patent pending, copyright, whatever the fuck.
Trademarked. Oh man.
Trademark, Poshmark.
Mott Wapple Sauce isn't there. A Moana 2. That one's
there's Moana 2. Just go watch it. It's fucking out.
Stop
talking about Moana 2.
Really? We're having a Moana. Wrong show.
We talk about fucking The Rock and Kevin Hart all the time. I'm this bitch.
Okay. Industry insiders.
That fucking show you were talking about too. They voice characters. Surprise. That level, whatever you're talking. That last show you were talking about.
Secret Level.
Yeah. Kevin Hart's a voice. The Rock's a voice.
Fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger was a voice. It was weird. That episode was weird. That's a weird episode. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, just weird. Really weird, but it was somewhat enjoyable. Watching him die repeatedly was enjoyable. And then he was it's just like way overacted dying.
Not even acting, he's like eating a hoagie or something. He's going about it. Just walking in, like, where's the bell?
Well, if we're gonna pick shitty washed out actors, let's just cast Ashton Kutcher as everything. I mean, that's a different voice.
Fucking voice.
So an industry insider was just talking about that. There is. So we know the Sonyverse, right? The Sony Spider-Verse, the Venom, Morbius, Madam Web, even though they tried to deny it, and now Kraven the Hunter. Pretty much, an industry insider is saying that Sony gives up. They're tapping out officially. That Kraven is going to do terribly in theaters, and that they're officially hanging it up, and that they're going to focus 100% of their energy on Spider-Man 4 with Marvel. Hey Corey, what's up, bud? So yeah, part of me is sad because I feel like there's really good stuff there that they could make good stuff, but part of me is happy because they won't. They won't ever make good stuff.
They shouldn't just follow whatever Kevin Feige tells them to do.
Yeah, just let him put his hand up there like a puppet, and just work the whole Sony studio from the inside,
or do some fucking research and give people what they want.
Hire writers that know the source material. Like that.
Oh, what?
I mean, it's an option. Just saying, it's an option.
We're allergic to money.
So it says here, so Sony's line of Marvel films centered around Spider-Man universe characters continues this week with the opening of Kraven the Hunter. But according to a new report, it will also mark the ending. A detailed report claims that compounded stumbles of Morbius, Madam Web, a Venom trilogy of diminishing returns, and even all those bungled plans from 2010's Amazing Spider-Man franchise are making Sony press pause on any attempts to build a separate Marvel franchise. Instead, it's going to focus all of its efforts towards Marvel Studios to make Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland. Yay! I mean, when you really lay it all out, like, Kraven is going to be Sony's third Marvel-themed film release in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
You had Madam Web, which had a budget of about $100 million, which made $100 million worldwide, which you would think, at least they broke even. But that doesn't count hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising and marketing. So that's a loss. Then you had Venom: The Last Dance, which cost $120 million. It did make $470 globally, but that's only half of what the original film earned, and less than the sequel earned, which came out during COVID. So that's something. We know that Kraven the Hunter cost a whopping $130 million. So unless it blows people away, I mean, it has to make way over $300 million for it to really matter. It says here, hey, look, it's also Kraven the Hunter would have to earn $300 million at the box office for Sony to say that it earned a combined $1 billion from its 2024 Marvel movies. So where you have, Avengers and Spider-Man making $1 billion by themselves, they would need Kraven to make $300 million so that collectively their three movies can make $1 billion. That's not good.
It'll make money, but I don't think it'll make that much money.
The biggest issue with the Sony Spider-Man spinoff seemed to be the lack of quality control. The movies just aren't good, says an insider. Sometimes lack of quality meets a movie no one asked for, which was the case with Madam Web, and that's a no-win scenario. It may be time for Sony to start cultivating different IP to launch new franchises. I mean,
a bunch of games that are exclusives, like dive into those, do something. Give Marvel back their stuff. Fucked it up enough.
Scott wants to know, who is Tom Holland? Tom Holland is the kid that plays Spider-Man, the latest Spider-Man, the MCU Spider-Man. That's Tom Holland. Sony just needs to sign over every comic character to someone who knows how to make movies right. Man, preach. Freaking preach.
They only have access to Spider-Man, so just give it all back.
Susan says, Poison Ivy needs a good evil comeback. I like Uma Thurman. I will half agree with you there. It'd be nice to see a good Poison Ivy.
That's like a minor... Poison Ivy's never a main villain. It's a minor villain, kind of like the Penguin or something in the new show.
Yeah.
It's not a... She grows plants,
I feel
all he has to do is spray some Roundup and she'll be fucking done. This is highly concentrated Roundup. Oh no! You thwarted me. It's like
is this some highly advanced bat formula chemical? No, I bought that at Home Depot.
Hold on, $25. I'll get the fucking lawn guys to fucking come take out this villain. You got a bunch of guys named Pedro with backpacks. Shh, got it. We got it, boss.
I love it. She's like, what are you gonna call your bat
family? Don't spray the grass.
No, I've got backup. Juan, Carlos, Pedro, come here.
He's got a weed eater.
You got it, Batman.
You got it, Batman.
Orderly away. Spray the chica. All right.
I mean Batman.
Oh god. Same day laborers he hired to build the fucking bat cave.
It's like they're advertising. It's like Pedro's lawn service. We also cut Batman's lawn.
we killed Poison Ivy. Oh man. What was I gonna say? God damn it! You got me out of. I go on these wild tangents with you, man. That just we never know where we're going with that. You know, Poison Ivy specifically. I think to date there hasn't been a really good interpretation of her, whether it was from the Batman and Robin movie, from the Gotham TV show, like any the closest I think we got to like even the Arkham games. I'm thinking like she was just kind of a side, wasn't really important one way or the other. Outside of like the Batman animated show
in real life too.
Yeah. It'd be cool if you give someone like, Christopher Nolan or like one of these legit like character focused directors, a shot at, he made Bane. Say what you will about that, the Dark Knight Returns movie, but like he at least made Bane somewhat interesting outside of it's just big strong guy. Oh, like he made him serious, I guess is the best way to put it. So I don't know.
Well, that's a reason he didn't touch certain characters, and it's because they're stupid.
They're too comic booky.
I think that's one of them. Like he wasn't gonna do Penguin. I think he even said he wasn't gonna do her like Freeze. Like I think it was another one he said he wasn't gonna do. It's just absurd.
Yeah, anything that was
much more grounded, like kind of what could be realistic. I read earlier he was talking about how he approached filming it or whatever, and he's like instead of using CGI for like the street fights and shit like that, he used actual streets he wanted a picture like if I'm walking down the street and fucking a Batman shows up, like that's how he approached filming it or whatever, which is awesome idea. But
I mean, really,
you're not gonna see some lady that's like, I just sprayed Miracle Grow on your fucking plants. Like, okay, thanks for
No, he took the supernatural element out of Batman and its mythos. There weren't anybody with powers. Just people you could take seriously.
Scarecrow, I thought he did pretty good too. That was a good interpretation.
Yeah.
I kept bringing him back as Scarecrow's like a big time villain, and he made him this fucking B bullshit villain. Even it was his Dark Knight Returns. He's like fucking with the guys with the hockey masks and shit.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
He's supposed to be this big bad villain that almost fucking beat Batman, and here he's with these losers. He's like a B. Like, when did you get out?
I would have loved to see Christopher Nolan's take on like Riddler. I feel like that would have been a cool.
I feel like it would have been similar to Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves did an excellent job with it. Besides a weird gimp mask, but something similar to that, I thought was pretty clever.
It's funny enough. Like real quick, just a complete side tangent, but with the Batman movie, I loved everything about the Riddler minus the Riddler. Does that make any sense? Like the mystique of it, finding the dead bodies and the clues and all that. But like everything that actually had the Riddler in the scenes, I was like, this just looks weird and it's just.
I think it's the actor. Like he wasn't.
Paul Dano, I think his name is.
He does it. He's a good actor, but he wasn't. He didn't fit the role. Like he's supposed to be this really smart guy, and it's like.
Yeah,
he just looks like a child molester to me. I don't know. That's what every time I saw him, like he's got a bunch of kids in the fucking van. He should be like there. I think there was a villain that was kind of like a child molester too. Like he's not the Riddler. Like I don't know, Riddler. Like I said, he's smart. He does fucking those stupid riddles. So they're kind of like jokes or whatever. So he's got to be like kind of somewhat funny. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
that's I didn't like him too. I think they should have got somebody else. I think, but It did. And then he wears a gimp mask. I'm like, he's a total fucking child molester, dude. Like, all his riddles are leading to little boys and shit.
Pieces of little boys.
I left vans everywhere with little
There's
boys
fans
in
all
them.
over the city. Don't you wonder where all the children have gone, Batman?
Yeah. Where are the kids?
Here's a story I thought you might like. You're a fan of Invincible, as am I, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great series. I know the show's doing gangbusters. For those that don't know, the comic book series that it's based off has been over for a while now. Yeah, it came to a close a long time ago. Well, it looks like Robert Kirkman's not done with the Invincible universe, because a new Invincible comic book series has been announced, will be helmed by two of the franchise co-creators, Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley. Before becoming a hit animated series of Prime Video, Invincible was a long-running comic book that ran from 2003 to 2018, which is so nearly 7 years ago. If you had to guess, what character from that universe would or should get its own spin-off series, who would be up there for you? Put you on the spot. Do you remember the names of the Invincible characters?
No, it's been a while. I only read the comic books, and I only watched like part of season 1 of the show. I would say the main guy, the dad or whatever,
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man.
So it's one of the most popular characters outside of the core characters. It is Battle Beast. He was the big werewolf looking dude.
So they're gonna do Battle Beast.
Yes, they're doing
basically
the first details of Invincible Universe : Battle Beast were announced. As the title suggests, the series will focus on the titular character Battle Beast, who has long been a fan favorite anti-hero of the Invincible universe. The book will specifically serve as a prequel of sorts for Battle Beast and will take place after following his first appearance in Invincible issue number 19 and will lead up to his second appearance in issue 55. So I guess it's all the things he was doing between 19 and 55.
That's a cool
issues.
character. That'll be interesting. They're probably doing 6 issues or something.
Yeah, well, let's see. I was gonna see if
the other dude was pretty interesting. The robot dude that
Oh yeah, the robot dude that had like a baby
brought
inside
that
of
one.
him.
Well, no, there was one that brought the girl back. Am I thinking? I'm gonna be confusing two shows. I think I watched too many different things and they all meshed together.
Such a nerd. Yes. So that'll be interesting. I'm curious. That's a character that didn't really get a lot of playtime in the original series. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Let's see. A couple more things. Go ahead. What you said?
I said, and he needs more money.
Yeah, right. He's like, what are we going to do when we run out of series? There's another series.
A little Walking Dead, season 35.
If there's one thing Robert Kirkman is good at, it's creating one thing that can be spun off 52 times.
Yeah.
That's his kind of his niche. He has one good idea and then spins off of it 52 times.
1,000 million.
Yes, 1,010 different ways.
Sells out left and right. But get that money, player.
Hey, man.
I wanted to see Thief of Thieves. I like Thief of Thieves. I thought it was one of his better comics.
Yeah, it's one of his.
I never thought they would do Invincible. I was like, they'll never fucking make this.
Especially as a cartoon.
Yeah,
it makes more sense as a cartoon.
It's cartoon, yeah. Real movie,
live action,
fucking epic. I was like, they'll never fucking do that.
You like, I try to imagine
like Watchmen times 100.
Yeah, way worse than Watchmen. I try to imagine it as a live action. You know what you can do is watch like the Mortal Kombat gameplay, because they have the Omni-Man character and like that 3D rendering. Bro, it is fucking brutal. You watch, you're like, holy Jesus. This as a series would be crazy. Let's see. Last thing before we take a short break and then jump to our interview. What to watch in December? A couple things are coming out this month. So obviously highly, highly awaited, anticipated, and salivated Squid Games Season 2 comes out December 26th on Netflix. It's been 3 years since Squid Game. It's COVID, man.
It's funny. I don't watch shit with subtitle. I can't do it. But every show I watch, I put on the subtitles because I can't fucking hear. But it's like, this is dubbed. I'm not watching this.
I gotta read. I'm not gonna watch that.
Turn off the subtitles. I can't fucking hear what's going on.
I can't turn on the subtitles. I can't hear what's going on.
I watch fucking Tulsa King and shit. And nobody knows what Stallone says anymore. Like, put on the subtitles. I don't know what he fucking says. It's just gibberish.
That is better. Tulsa King. Let's see. One that was mentioned earlier today was Dexter. Original Sin Season 1 comes out in 3 days. I don't know, man. I'm torn. I'm torn on Dexter Original Sin. Because on one hand, I'm like, this could be really cool and like really interesting. And on the other hand, I'm always nervous when it seems like they feel they need to bring star power to get people to watch. They brought in Christian Slater. They brought in Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Who hasn't done shit since Buffy.
And so like
or Scooby-Doo, which was like what, fucking 15 years ago.
And then you brought back Dexter, the real Dexter, Michael C. Hall, to narrate.
Well, and then like the thing I didn't like too is like they got all the characters, but like slightly younger looking versions. So like they have the bald cop dude, and he's still wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Yes,
it's like
Batista.
He's a detective. He's allowed to dress how he wants. Like back then, he would have been Road Patrol, bitch. You're gonna be in a uniform, and it's still not gonna have the same fucking hat. The same like. Guys, none of the characters have different outfits for the last 50 years.
If they don't dress exactly like their characters, you won't know who they're playing.
It's like if a kid wrote it, though. Like, come on, man. This is Sony.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
That's what I didn't like about the preview, anyway.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew. It's been out already.
That's pretty good. Did you watch that? I watched that yesterday.
I only watched the first episode. I want to catch the whole series.
It kind of sets a tone. Like I wasn't gonna watch it because Julia White was supposed to be on here and he sold us out. So I was protesting it, and then I read.
Nice.
I have standards, sir. If you give your word, you have to live to it. But I read like people were like, it's fucking good or whatever, and then I was reading up on it, and they're like, it's Goonies meets E.T. or whatever. I was like, you got me at Goonies. It's pretty much basically what it is. It's like Space Goonies. So it's pretty good, and the kids like it. So.
Yeah. Sunday, December 22nd. What If Season 3? 8 new episodes daily. That'll be
8
fun.
Episodes daily.
Well, 8.
Well, they're gonna have 7,000 episodes.
8 new episodes released daily.
One a day.
One daily. One at a time.
Since you said 8 episodes a day, you better fix this.
Better fix that shit. Oh man. Let's see. Streaming on Hulu. I'm trying to look for like new things. There's a lot of things like, oh, on Hulu they're gonna fucking Rio 2, and it's like fucking okay. Like new stuff. What's the new stuff?
There was one on Netflix that fuck.
Yeah, there's a ton of things. Should have been
prepared. It was coming. That seemed interesting. I think it was a movie then.
Netflix. Let's see.
Upcoming.
Originals. Is it something original? There's a bunch of kid movies.
Yeah.
Christmas movies. Obviously, it's that time of season. Black Doves. The Great British Baking Show for the holidays.
No.
Classics.
Shit.
Jamie Foxx.
It was the movie with he was in that spy movie where all the heads he shoots all the people and their heads are paint. What the fuck was that? They made like 3 of them. Kingsman. The dude from the Kingsman's in it.
He shoots all the people and their heads are filled with paint. That is the worst synopsis.
That's how the movie
Kingsman
ended. That was the whole ending of the movie. He shoots them all and they're all like weird pastel colored.
You could have said spy movie. You could have said the guy that shoots the guys with heads in the paint.
Hey, it doesn't matter how I get there as long as I fucking get there, all right?
That's so dumb.
I just have to trigger my own fucking thought process.
Woo!
Whatever the fuck that guy's name is. He's in a movie where he was like TSA and
yes.
Jason Bateman is I guess
killer trying to get through the customs.
You're gonna let my dildo through. It's the King Dong 7000.
Christmas, bitch. Tuesday, December 17th, Aaron Rodgers, Enigma, comes out on Netflix. You can watch him get high of some ayahuasca on Netflix. Like, after the season he's had, if I'm Netflix, I'm canceling that shit. Oh my God.
Liar and a crybaby.
Yes. Then there's, speaking of Netflix, there's 2 Christmas games in the NFL happening on Netflix. Which,
yeah, I saw that.
If
like,
you
why?
watched the Tyson fight, I don't think you want to watch anything.
Yeah,
live on Netflix
constantly. Like, guys aren't set up for it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll
Plus,
see how that
like
goes.
25 people with Netflix accounts. So you're not getting any more ratings.
Yeah. How is it we don't have enough servers when there's only 25 logins?
Yeah, why are we tapping out? We got 25 people online.
Let's see. I know Severance season 2 drops, which I'm excited for. I'm dying to catch what happens in Severance. Silo season 2 drops. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to watch. A lot of stuff to watch.
Yeah, you got the Yellowstones wrapping up.
Yeah, man. So much happening out there.
Next year, Marvel's coming out with what on Disney Plus? Daredevil, right?
Daredevil drops finally.
Is that February?
That is, I want to say, oh God.
And they got House of Dragons, isn't that coming back next year too? I still didn't watch the last season.
Yeah, you know, after
3 episodes a year, just wait 10 years and I'll watch it all 7 of them.
After the fucking way it ended with the other one. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man drops January 29th. Captain America is February 14th. Daredevil March 4th. Thunderbolts May 2nd. I'm excited for that one. Ironheart June 24th. Fantastic Four is July 25th. Eyes of Wakanda August 6th. And Wonder Man is coming in December of 2025.
Yeah, that looks good.
So we'll see. All right, guys. Let's toss to a short break. When we come back, we're gonna have the interview with Michael John Warren, the director of FREEDIVER. Really good conversation. Highly implore you to sit back, enjoy, and watch it. And when we come back, it's a short interview. It's only about 30 minutes. But when we come back from that, I'm going to challenge each and every one of you. I'm going to ask 3 questions for 3 winners. First person to answer each question will win a prize. Nobody gets to win twice. I want 3 different winners. I promise you they're not hard questions. The questions I'm thinking of are probably mentioned multiple times throughout the interview, so it should be pretty easy if you're paying attention. But yeah, Angry Off the Red One hits Amazon Prime like in a week. Yeah, man, that didn't last long in theaters. I called it. I said it was on streaming before the holidays.
I forgot I had the numbers, but I forgot them.
Yeah, it was whatever.
They got Sonic's reviews are in too. People are saying it's like the other ones.
Yeah, it's more of Sonic. I mean,
can't be trustworthy because you're like Jim Carrey. The first one's like Jim Carrey's great. There's lots of Jim Carrey, and it's like, calm down, ISIS.
China.
Anyways,
all right. So we're gonna go to a short break. When we come back, interview. And then giveaways, and then we'll call it a night. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes. Right back. Shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, you there. Yeah, it is right, you. Let me ask you something, alright? Where the hell do you think that you're going? Oh, what do you think because the show's going to commercial that means you get to just walk away? Well, CQ asked me to pass on the little message, alright? And it says, I'll be back.
You're watching Pop Culture Warrior. The force is strong. They have the high ground.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio. You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Whew. Boy, howdy.
Hey,
Is it a
you
night?
there? Yeah, this is right, you.
Let me do this right.
Let me ask you something, right? Where the
So
hell
obviously,
do you
like I
think
said,
you're going?
this is a
Oh,
pre-recorded
who do you think
segment.
because the show's
You'll
going
notice,
commercial, that
which
means
by the
you
way, I
can
didn't
just
mention
walk away?
earlier.
Well,
If you
CQ
notice,
asked me to
the
pass on
CQ hat
the
has gone
message, right?
AWOL.
And it says,
It's what happens when you have
"I'll
kids
be back."
and moving things around. I don't know. We'll find it eventually. It's fine. Or I'll get more. I'll get other ones. It doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get to it. Tonight, we have a real treat for you. Joining us is someone who's not just a director, but a true storyteller who knows how to capture the raw essence of human experience. You might know him from his incredible work on documentaries like Jay-Z's Fade to Black and Spring Awakening, Those You've Known, where he's taken us behind the curtain to explore the artistry and emotion of his subjects. But tonight, am I still playing background music? Sorry about that. Appreciate it. Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it. I didn't realize the background music was still playing. That's what happens when you mute it to yourself. I'm gonna let's run that back one more time because I want a nice clean intro here before I kick it over to our guest. Tonight we have a real treat for you. Joining us is someone who's not just a director, but a true storyteller who knows how to capture the raw essence of human experience. You might know him from his incredible work on documentaries like Jay-Z's Fade to Black and Spring Awakening, Those You've Known, where he's taken us behind the curtain to explore the artistry and emotion of his subjects. But tonight, he's here to talk about his latest masterpiece, FREEDIVER. This isn't just a movie. It's an awe-inspiring journey into the depths of the human spirit, where dreams and challenges collide underwater in a way that will leave you breathless. So let's dive into the world of FREEDIVER with the brilliant 6-time Emmy-nominated director, writer, executive producer. Please welcome Michael John Warren, everybody. Okay, so let's dive right into it. I watched FREEDIVER. It's an incredible documentary, and like I found myself holding my breath at certain points unintentionally, and then you're like, oh God, okay, I can breathe again. So I mean, it's really, really well done. But before we get into the movie, I always like to learn about the person behind it first a little bit. So can you give us a little bit about your background and kind of
Sure.
what got you into directing and documentaries?
Yeah. So I was a documentary film editor before I was a director. And I was very opinionated as an editor. I was like kicking directors out of the room, being like, "You don't know what you're doing." I'm a much softer soul now. This is when I was in my 20s. And eventually it just became like some people who saw what I was capable of just said, maybe you should shoot it and then you don't have all these problems in post. You could just shoot it right and then we wouldn't have to get mad at directors. And of course, I'm very lucky to have people who believed in me and they tapped me on the shoulder and I took to directing real quick. And it's been an incredible journey this whole time. I get to do single camera, really intimate portrait pieces with some of the most famous people in the world and get them to bare their souls to me. But at the same time, I get to use this completely other skill set and capture an entire Broadway show in a single take, which is the opposite of what I'm doing when I'm like trying to get a celebrity to bare their soul. And it's been this incredible career. I've seen the world multiple times over. I've learned a lot along the way. And I have to say that in this film, FREEDIVER, I used every single thing I know how to do as a director to make this movie happen. It was so hard to make this film, challenging to capture it, challenging to edit it. And thankfully, I have this very wide skill set as a director that came into play here because I really don't know how else I would have made this film if I didn't experience everything I've experienced leading up to this moment.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of FREEDIVER, what inspired this movie? How do we get from like work me backwards, right? Like how does this come to life? How do you come across Alexei, who is just an incredible physical specimen, a being on a whole other level of existence? But how did all this come about?
Yeah, so there was an article in GQ that came out a few years ago. My friends at Boardwalk Pictures in Los Angeles hit me up and they sent me the article and they said, read this article. If you do you want to make a movie about it? Because maybe we do, and if you do and we do, then maybe we do it. And so I read the article and I was like, this is insane. It was the first thing that hit me was the medical stuff, like what happens when you dive deep and how your heart rate slows down to almost stopping and how your lungs get crushed down and like they say it's like the size of an orange, but it's really like small pancakes smashed together, and your inner ear can rupture. And it just sounded really, really insane. And I didn't even know the human body can do that, right? I was like, I didn't know. And I think there's doctors out there who might watch this movie and be like, that's not real. It's real. And so it's called the human dive reflex, actually. And we don't know if it's like an ancient skill that we developed back when we were like half cavemen. We don't really know how we have this ability to do this. Certainly in modern life, it doesn't feel like we need the ability to do what Alexei does, but we have the ability within us. That sounded fascinating. But then to learn about Alexei, and he's the greatest living freediver. Oh, and it just so happens his mom is the most celebrated freediver of all time. And he had this really almost strangely close relationship to her. And now he's in this place where he's trying to honor her legacy, but also be better than she ever was at the same time. And that sounded messy and complicated. And it just sounded like a great challenge. It sounded like a really exciting sort of journey for Alexei. It sounded like an exciting journey for me. And I can confirm it was an exciting journey on all fronts. And now we have this incredible film that we get to share with the world after 3 years of work.
Yeah. Again, it is an incredible film. We can talk for hours about this because it's really just amazing. Can you describe maybe some of the process, right, of bringing this? Because we're getting looks at things that we've never before seen. Going down at these incredible depths. What were some of the biggest challenges, right, in the process of making this film?
The biggest challenge of making this film was Planet Earth. Earth doesn't care who I am and what I'm trying to do. It doesn't care who Alexei is and what he's trying to do. Earth is Earth. And then Earth gets even more challenging when you start to go into the ocean. It's about as hard as it gets for photography to get cameras down. 512 feet underwater is really, 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 really deep. I'm pretty sure my crew and I set a world record ourselves with the deepest image of a person in the open ocean that's ever existed. There might be a GoPro image out there somewhere that's that deep or a little deeper, but we're using cinema cameras. This is a movie, not a GoPro little sports video. And it was really hard to figure out how to do that. Hold on one second, sorry.
Mhm.
It was really hard to figure out how to do that. It took an international team to pull this off. I had a Polish team that was using this cable camera that tracks him down as he goes low. I had a Belgian scuba team sitting and covering him from from the surface down to like the first 20, 30 meters. And then I had a French robotics drone team with a little drone down there at 512 feet under the water, tracking him down there. And then I had an American documentary team on the boats. And so it took the entire world to come together in order to photograph this sport in the way it's been photographed here. So the film itself is historical. And then within the film, it's just history being made every 10, 20 minutes in the film. It was really hard to make. We counted 22 flights, 8 countries, more boats than we could possibly count, 3 years of my life and one super typhoon later, and now we have this beautiful film we get to share with the world.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I have my advanced open water certification. I'm a scuba diver.
Oh, cool.
I love it. I've been down about 120 feet, just before you started getting into the nitrix mix and all these things.
Yeah.
It can be terrifying to be down there with oxygen. So to think that this guy's going, another 300, 400 feet even deeper with a single breath it's hard to wrap your brain around. And like you said, what I love about these kind of films is to give us a peek at something so few people see. The same, the war documentaries or pilots or whatever it is, like where you rarely get
Yeah.
to see the minutia, the action, and then also the reality of it. Because in your film, I mean, there are scenes where you see these guys that are like blacking out and being dragged out of the water, and the serious consequences, because you think, oh, best athlete in the world, it all goes flawlessly. I mean, we see him have a not a failed attempt, but he doesn't make the one mark. But like, there are some real consequences to this. Were there apprehensions of like, oh my God, we might film someone die? Like, was that a part of it?
Absolutely. I thought about that probably every time he went for a world record. Like, this could be the day I film someone die, which I didn't take lightly. And I'll say this, like, this is a sports film. And usually in a sports film, the question is, are we going to win or lose, right? And that's in this film as well, but it's also like, am I going to live or die? And so it's amped up to this impossibly high level, or it's not impossibly high because it's done, but this very, very high level. The stakes are literally life and death throughout this entire film. And I think that's really interesting. And your question about, yeah, it was confronting to know that this could be the day I filmed someone die. I went through it a lot on a series I did for Netflix a while back called Fearless, which is about bull riders. That was the first time where I was like bonding with these people, and then I'd watch them like get on a bull, and I'd be like, don't do it. Like, come on, we'll show's canceled. We're not doing that. We're not doing the series. And that was happening with Alexei a little bit, where I was just like, every time he went down, a clock, like you would start to tick in your mind, like, oh, he's still down there. And then like a minute would pass and you're like, he's still down there. And then another minute would pass and you're like, he's still down there. Now those are the moments where I would like focus on the technical side of directing, like, hey, let's pull back a little bit. And like I would just start to move into the technical side, because if I was thinking about what was happening on a human level, I don't know if I could have kept it myself together. And there's definitely a point in this film, a very harrowing scene that I think you were referencing. When he announced what he was doing, he announced it the night before what he was going to do the next day. I couldn't sleep that night.
Wow.
That day happened. It was a bad day. Bad day for humanity, great day for the film, because it's obviously like a major moment in the film, which is like the weird crux of being a documentarian, is like the worst things for the world are good for your movie. It's a weird situation to be in, but it's true. And then that day happened and I couldn't sleep the night after it happened. And so it was just this film that like really, really worked my last nerve, and not in an annoying way. It just really stretched my ability to stay calm in very, very stressful situations.
Yeah. And this film, it does something incredible in that, like you kind of touched on it a little bit, this idea of like, are we going to win or are we going to lose? And, or, and I think of other documentaries, Fistful of Quarters, where it's like this world
Right.
record attempt versus, it's like the good guy versus the bad guy. In this film, it's like human versus nature. It's record attempt versus record attempt. It's a legacy film of a son trying to, live up to the mother. Like, there's so many, like, there's not one antagonist, protagonist. It's incredible how you balanced just all these aspects. And it's like, it's a thrill ride. I'm just sitting down holding on to the chair, like, what's gonna happen next? I mean, how much
Good.
planning
I'm so
went into
glad to
that?
hear you say that. You
Absolutely,
know?
absolutely. Is this stuff thought out ahead of time, or does it naturally just happen as you're filming?
Yeah, it's both. I pride myself on trying to crack a film before I shoot a single frame of it. I literally wrote out this film and structured out how this film could go in my mind, but I literally have the paper trail. And so you come up with the best possible scenario or what you think is going to work, but then it's a documentary. And so like I'm writing it, but I'm sort of writing it live as it's happening as well. I'm half a reporter as well. And so you have your plan and then you go out and everything changes. And in this film, that happened a lot. It happened really soon. We convinced everyone to help us make this film. Like we got our funding together, and right as that happened, and we were about to start like full production, Russia invades Ukraine. Now, for those who don't know, Alexei's Russian, and when Russia invaded Ukraine, most Russian athletes got banned from international sports, and it was same was true for freediving. So suddenly, the greatest living freediver in the world is benched. First of all, we're making a movie about him. He's benched. The top of that season, he had 3 world records. He can't compete that year. He loses 2 world records that season. And he comes back and he says, I'm not just going to get back those 2 world records that got stripped from me during this being benched situation. I'm going to set 5 world records. It's going to be the most dominant season in a very deadly sport that the world has ever seen. And that's a big part of what this film is about. That's the sports story, is can he do that? The film's about way more than the sports story. The sports story is it's sort of a structure to hang a much deeper conversation about what it means to be alive, what it means to die, what it means to be a son, a father, a responsible family member. There's a lot of different elements of this film, and I'm glad you appreciated all that. There's a lot of characters you don't know if you're supposed to love them or hate them, and that's good storytelling, though. Yeah. Is those messy bits in between all the other stuff. That's what a good story is. That I didn't want to make a film that was just like, you know who to root for and you know who to hate. And no, this is a film that you watch and as soon as it's over, you start talking about, well, what did you think? Oh, what did you think? And that's what the best stories do, in my opinion. And so I'm happy to hear that that was your reaction to the film, because that's of course what I was trying to do. And the film, I had my plans. The film rewrote itself. I helped rewrite it. Alexei goes through a transformation throughout the film. And now we get to show it to the world.
Yeah. A lot of films feel like there's, I don't want to say an agenda, but there's definitely here's my point of view and I'm going to show it to you. Whereas this really felt like, here's the reality. Here is life unfolding. Let's see what happens.
I think that's my job. My job isn't to put my own politics into a film. My job is not to sort of shove what I think is important. It is not politics, but I do have to manage the story that, in my opinion, definitely matters. And I have control. I'm not pretending like I don't, but with that control, I'm trying to tell a story that's compelling, but I also want it to be truthful. I'm not trying to turn Alexei into something he's not. I'm trying to show you what he is in a way that's compelling and exciting. Of course, I'm a storyteller. Of course, I'm trying to pull at your heartstrings. I'm trying to keep you on the edge of your seat. Of course, I'm doing all that. But it's really important to me that I'm not lying as I'm doing that, and I'm giving you a truthful representation. And in this film, you get a really truthful representation of Alexei early on, and you get a really truthful representation to him at the end. And it's not the same person by the end of the film. And you watch how he gets there. I'm really just trying to give you a look at something that you're not going to get to witness unless my cameras are there. And I'm trying to do it in a compelling way, and I'm trying to do it in a truthful way. I'm half journalist, half dramatist. I'm not even entirely sure exactly what the balance is. I'm trying to do all those things at once. It's a really interesting thing to get to do. I'm really thrilled that I get to do it.
Outstanding. And I mean, obviously, Alexei is the centerpiece of this thing. How did you approach him for this? How do you gain his trust? Right, we get a very up close, real look at this man. His not just his attempts, but his personal life, his the tragedy, the triumph. How do you gain that trust, and how do you capture it authentically?
Yeah, it took the whole production, honestly, to really get his full trust, I think. Alexei is someone who's sort of easy to know at first. He's very approachable. He's very friendly. He's gregarious. He's got, he's got this, kind of like cutesy, boyish sense of humor. And at the same time, he's a robot. Right? It's like a really complicated character to sort out. You're like, okay, you're really friendly, but then there's this mode that you go into where you're not almost human anymore. Of course he's human, right? But he's developed the mastery of his mind, and he can just turn off everything and just go into a place that very few of us are, like Tibetan monks maybe could get to where he goes like that. So, and I think you see it in the film. I think you see him learning to trust me and my team. And I think you learn, and I think you also see him reevaluate his life throughout the film. I mean, that's what's one of the things that's magical about this film, is it starts with this fascinating character, who seems to be capable of doing anything, and then you watch him wonder if he should be doing it at all. And that's what the magic is here, is this guy who has spent his entire life climbing a mountaintop, and he's up there and he's like, is this the mountaintop I'm supposed to be on? And what is this mountaintop? Which is something I think a lot of us go through. And I think in a way the film is sort of about evaluating our own lives and what we do with the opportunities in front of us, and how do those decisions affect the people who love us. So there's a lot of things that play in this film, and yeah, I hope they're resonating for the audience.
Absolutely. And you touched on it a little bit, but care to elaborate? Just the filming in some remote, extreme locations that are just, I mean, they're gorgeous, they're breathtaking, but it's almost this character in the movie itself and the elements. And I mean, it's disastrous at times. I mean, what was all that like?
I mean, look, our lives are very adventurous as documentarians. I have luckily been able to sort of create this trust with people that I can do an international production that is about as hard as it can be, which certainly this one was. There was this is the kind of film where you get on a 12-hour flight and then connect at like 4 in the morning in Dubai and get on a 10-hour flight. Like that's this kind of film. Like you really literally going around the globe multiple times on a project like this. And then you get to the place you're going and everyone's like, oh, it's the Caribbean. It's like, well, yeah, it is the Caribbean, but the Caribbean isn't all resorts and pina coladas, Parts of the Caribbean aren't really developed. And that island, Long Island, where a lot of this film takes place on, there's not really an infrastructure there. There's not really I don't even know if there's a coffee shop there, right? And there's like one restaurant that maybe you want to eat at, maybe you don't, It's a place I'm never going back to. I will never go back there. And so it's beautiful on camera, but like the crew is like surviving off of granola bars and like, freeze-dried coffee. But we all know what we signed up for, and we all love that adventure. And we kind of like the pain too. I have to admit, like you're not a normal person if you're doing what we're doing. And it was a great adventure. We were in the Philippines, like remote Philippines. We were in a city called an island called Camotes. And it's very, very remote. And while we were there, Alexei was about to set a world record, and a super typhoon rolls up on us. And we had to decide as a film crew, are we going to stay in this very, very remote place as a super typhoon hits? Or are we going to try to get out of here in time? And the path out is another crazy island that's more industrialized, but dirt single lane roads. Like that's the path to get out. And what happens if that island gets, and so there was a lot of very hard decisions we had to make as a film crew. I take my crew's safety incredibly seriously. I take my own safety incredibly seriously. Alexei makes his decisions, right? Like I'm not in charge of Alexei. I'm in charge of documenting Alexei. He's going to do what he's going to do. But my crew and me, I am responsible for. And so we got to see the world. We were in Honduras. We were in Nice, France. We were in the Philippines. We filmed parts in Russia, although we did that remotely because I refused to send Americans into Russia for obvious reasons. We filmed in LA, which isn't that exciting, but we did it. And so it was this great adventure. And like I said, it was sort of could be its own story. We could make a book out of just what making this film was.
Right. The documentary of the documentary.
Yeah, the documentary. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm curious because I don't think it was elaborated in the film, but when he's going to make these world attempts, and we're doing these in just amazingly remote, wondrous places, dangerous places, how much of that is his choice? Like, I want to break this record in this location, and how much of it was for the filming of like, let's pick a new location,
100% his choice. He's calculating a lot of things. First of all, there's a lot of it we're following a season. But freediving is not really, it has leagues, sort of. It's a very unstructured sport, in my opinion. Like there are rules, there are multiple leagues that sort of have different rules. Sometimes there's like this huge competition there, but it might not exist the next year because there's no money. There's no money in freediving. They're not doing this for money. That's part of things that I think people don't understand. They're doing it for a lot of other reasons that we could talk about, but they're not doing it for money because there is none. So he's picking where he wants to go. He knows what he's trying to set. He knows what the conditions are where he could probably set it, and he's a master of that. He's been doing this for his entire adult life. He knows if I want to do bifins, it'd be cool to do it here. If I want to do monofin, he picked monofin in France because his mother had a big monofin record in France, and he wanted to do it as a tribute to her. So he's in charge of all of that. Of course, there are production realities, but our production realities is like, well, he's doing it. We've got to get there. That's the reality of production. So yeah, it's all up to Alexei how he wants to do it.
Yeah, I did want to touch on that a bit. It's just that the idea of like, this isn't a league thing. This isn't like there's, I guess, governing bodies, sort of. There's rules you got to follow for it to be a world record. How is this all paid for? Like, is it sponsorships? Because this guy's like on a flight every 3 days around the world. How is this paid for? Like from the athlete's perspective, I know how movies work.
That's a great question, because I'm not even sure I know the answer. Like I said, there's no money. I think I think I do know the answer. You pay to be in the competition. So these athletes are paying to be there, and that's how it's done. It's shoestring. These guys are almost beach bums. Like they're sharing rooms in a hotel that most Americans wouldn't even stay in. And that's how they're doing it. They're putting their lives on hold. They're paying their own way to do this. So I'm a person who lives in kind of I'm probably a freediver who founded like my own little weird paradise. I invite people to come in. I charge them to be there. I pay the judges for that. I get a boat rental. I get some ropes and whatever. And like, that's it. And so there's a lot of like potluck dinners out there, and there's a lot of like handing around of homemade goods on the beach for people to eat. There's no money, there's no structure. It's the opposite of what you think about when you think about big, sexy sports. International sports. Yeah. It's Alexei's different because Alexei has businesses. He has his Molchanov brand, so he's making monofins and wetsuits, and he's also the machine isn't just underwater. The machine is above water as well. And he's constantly trying to spread the good word of freediving. He's constantly working on his business. So he's a bit different. He probably has more money than most freedivers, but it's not coming from, I mean, he gets to do that because he is who he is, but he's not making money off of freediving directly. Right. He's making it indirectly off of freediving.
Yeah, we see in the film like he's teaching a class, and he takes these guys into the caves and things like that. So it blows my mind, and like it goes to show like you have to have an obsession, a passion to do something that it's like, I'm gonna pay you, and I might die. Like that blows my mind that there's. It's, I guess, like climbing Everest, something like that, where you're like, well, it's risky.
It's similar to like that. Like people who climb Everest just have a thing, and it's not normal, and I don't want to do it, but they do. And so like, it's part of who they are. It's the it's like the centerpiece of their soul, or one of them. And so you're not normal to do this. And they find a lot in there. I mean, there's parts in the film where we're trying to explain why they do it. And for everyone, I think the answer is different. Some people are literally trying to overcome traumas, right? Some people just find something so peaceful in what happens when you make your body almost die, and then you come out of the water and this euphoria hits. And there's a world where that's actually an addiction, like a drug addiction. And so there's people who are doing that. There's people who are after the athletic glory. Alexei is after the athletic glory. William Trubridge, who's one of the major characters in the film, is after athletic glory. Of course they are. They're not going to maybe say it the way I just said it, but it's true. You don't do that stuff without knowing, like, I'm kind of the shit, so I'm going to do it. So, there is part of that. There's a little bit of a cowboy mentality. It's deeply hidden, more hidden here than in most sports. But there's a lot of things that play in this film, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it is, one, I wanted to understand what the hell's going on here, and it just felt like a story I hadn't really seen that way before, and how was I going to tell it? And I've been telling stories for a really long time, and although I had some really good ideas of how I was going to tell this story, it felt like just about as hard as it could get to figure out how I was going to do this one. Not just technically or physically, but also just storytelling wise. How do you weave in his story, his mother's story, the competition? What's going to even happen while we're filming this thing? Oh, he's banned from the sport because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and he's Russian. Like, it just kept coming at me. And for me, look, there were days where I was probably feeling a little bit defeated, but I actually kind of, in my own cowboy way, kind of like the challenge. And as these things came in, we tackled them. I had a really great team around me, very, very professional, very dedicated. Could not have made the film without them. And so now we get to, present this film.
Yeah, and it hopefully took a little inspiration from Alexei, and then was able to overcome the odds and challenge
No,
yourself.
Alexei will teach you. Alexei could teach anyone something, right? Like, there's a lot to learn from him. What the human body is capable of, what the human mind is capable of. You think you work hard? Guess what? I work harder. Like he's almost like Kobe Bryant, or like there's so much to learn from him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we wrap up here, let me ask you this last thing. What is the overall message that you hope viewers see this film and kind of take away from Freediver?
Yeah. I try not to put overt messages in my films. I believe I am sort of reporting in a dramatic way, reporting. And so I don't want the audience to have a specific message. I want them to ask a question, because what I think the film's actually about is, well, Alexei has the ability to do some truly incredible things, and he feels very driven to make the most out of the opportunities that are in front of him. But the film is about him learning whether he wants to do that or what's the cost of doing that. And I think the film asks a question of all of us, using Alexei as the focusing element, which is, how do we want to spend our lives? And how do we want to make the most out of the things that are before us? And how do those decisions affect the people who love us? And I think that's a question we can all ask ourselves. Work hard, work hard. Okay, yeah, work hard. As Americans, we're addicted to working hard, right? But is that really the right thing? And I think that's the question. Of course you should work hard. I'm not saying you shouldn't work hard, but I'm just saying, like, just working hard and just being excellent isn't the secret of a happy life.
Right.
And I think that's the question this film asks, is how do you live your life the best way possible?
Yeah. And what's that cost, right? You can accomplish your
Yeah.
dreams, but at what cost, and what is sacrificed along the way? It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. All right. Well, with that, I mean, I highly implore everyone watching to check out Freediver. It's available December 7th. It's Saturday, December 7th, released by Paramount. Incredible film. I mean, just kudos to you and your team and all the incredible people. And I can't wait for people to see this. It's really, really incredible. Thank you, Michael John Warren, for coming on, and I hope our paths cross again on your next incredible project.
I'm sure they will. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, and we'll stay tuned.
All right. Take care, man.
Take care. Hey, we're back. Let's bring in our beloved co-host, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mad Mike. Hi.
Hi.
That was Michael John Warren. Sorry, Scott. He's like, all right, get the questions now before I forget.
Yeah, right. Fucking TBI's a bitch.
No, see, that's
what was the name of the documentary?
Yeah, first
who
of all,
was the guy that I interviewed? What was the host's name?
No, this is gonna be like when we play Jackbox party games where they tell you to memorize the thing and then he rambles for like 3 minutes.
What was the color of CQ's hat?
What's different right now? Ooh, no, that's not it.
What time of day was this filmed?
These better be true false questions. No true false questions. None here. None here.
True or false? CQ did an interview. True or false? Both
True or
people
false?
were
That
white.
was live.
True or false? It was a Netflix documentary.
Got it. Nailed it. But anyway, no, really, really appreciate Michael's
Who is
time.
CQ's co-host?
Depends on the night.
What is the name of the station this show appears on?
Jesus
Got to go off
Christ.
the wall with it.
It's good.
Issue 299 of Amazing Spider-Man.
What
Like,
color
what?
underwear am I wearing right now?
None.
Trick question. None. Dun-dun-dun. All right. His
You wanna see
actual
the
hat.
free rate
That's
questions?
missing.
'Cause we were just bullshitting. Neither one of us watched the interview.
First of all, I was in the interview.
That was AI bullshit. Get the fuck out of here.
It was all CGI and AI. No. All right. Are people ready? Are people ready? We'll give the first question. I mean, this is about as gimme as I can give. Hold on. There's got to be a way. I wonder if there's a way for me to bring up the chat. Is there a way to bring up the chat?
Should
No,
be.
I don't know.
We've done it before.
I know. Yeah, it's been a minute. Hang on. Give me a second, folks. Give me a second, folks. I want to see. That way we can do this in like real time.
And stream
Streaming.
fails. Everybody, tune in the rest of the week.
Oh man. Let's see. Copy this address. Let's see if I can make. Let's see if I can make this work. See,
Copying
browse it.
addresses? What are you doing? What kind of hacking are you doing over there?
Don't pay any
It's
attention.
not
to
pre-rigged. I already got the shipping label printed out. I swear to God, it's not. Nothing's
Don't
rigged here.
pay no attention to the man.
It's a fair
behind the
election.
curtain. Is that working? Is that gonna give me a? Can I do a test? Hey, it does work. All right. That's sort of works. All right. So that should pop up with answers as they. Jesus, it's like so big. I made that too big. Whatever. All right.
That's how you like it.
Just like it. Let's see. First question is, how many world records attempts did he attempt to break in the film? How many world records did he attempt to break in the film? How many world records did he attempt to break in the film? And first person to get it right. Billy got it out the gate. 5.
Cheater.
Billy got it first.
11.
11. No, it was 5. He tried to attempted 5.
Nailed it. 21. Scott got it.
Scott 21. All of them. No, not all of
He
them.
thinks he's bidding on something. I'm bidding on the prize. $21.
Chester, listen. If you start throwing in random things just to try to guess what the question is ahead of time, you are going to disqualify yourself. So the 5 attempts that he did were, he did like the assisted where he like held onto an anchor and went down and swam up. He did the monofin, the bifin, the free dive where you literally have no equipment whatsoever. You just go down
Just
and
the
up.
butt cheeks.
Yeah, just butt cheeks. And then he did another. I forget the 5th one was, but 5 different attempts, or 5 different world records. So Billy, you got your prize. Congratulations. You're now out.
Wait, you had to answer all 3 questions, I thought.
No. How would that possibly be? You answer all 3 questions. I said 3 prizes for 3 questions. 3 prizes, 3 questions.
I thought you were gonna ask 3 questions and then one person gets a prize.
Give us a softer question. Jesus Christ. It was like this. The
What's
whole
the
point.
name of the guy he interviewed?
All right.
All right, hold on. What was the name of the guy that conducted the interview?
Who interviewed the guy on our show? No.
Nobody
Okay.
knows.
All right.
Jimmy
Real
Sosa.
question. I mean, I'm trying to think softer.
Where's the documentary airing on? Like, what is that, Netflix or
What
whatever?
platform? No, it's airing on honestly,
Don't say it.
I'm not even 100% sure. I think it's on Paramount, but that's what I'm not gonna ask. No, okay. This is kind of a softball-ish because we talked about it quite a bit in that interview. Name one of the locations they filmed in. We talked quite a bit about the travel and where they filmed. And if you put in a wrong answer, you're disqualified. You can't just name a bunch of places and hope that one's right. You get one. The ocean is such a
Nailed it.
The ocean. You such an idiot. The Amazon Prime. They really. No. All right. And nobody wants to win a prize, I guess. Billy, I said you're out, so you don't get so do I allow Russia as an answer? Because here's the technique. Yeah, I'll tell you, Mike. So I'll let you be the judge. So we got an answer of Russia. There was footage from Russia, but they didn't actually film in Russia. They did some like satellite interviews with people from Russia. So does that count as it was one of the locations they filmed in?
But did you talk about it?
I mean, we did mention that one of the locations, like that Russia's in the movie because they did, and they were like, and he mentioned because the whole geopolitical thing, we didn't actually go there. We just did the interviews via like Zoom and shit.
That counts because you talked about it. It's a location.
I mean, but the question was, where did they film? They didn't actually film there.
Does anyone else have one?
Disqualified. That's right? Scott says France, which is correct. Bonus points if you remember where in France.
Film there though.
They actually filmed there
too. Okay.
Yeah, they actually filmed there.
Then.
They actually filmed in France. All I remember is his mom.
Like Billy's like fucking took hardcore
Where
notes.
in France?
Where in France?
Spell us. No, I believe it was Nietzsche, France. And he's correct. And Scott's right. He was paying attention. Remember his mom. The reason he went there to break one of the records is because that's where his mom had broken the record prior to him, and his mom has passed away. So in order to honor the legacy of his mom, he went. Nice, Nice, France. Correct. Hey, Scott's a winner. Ding, 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 ding. All right. For the third question. Oh man. Trying to think. I'm trying to softball. I can't be like, what's the name of the movie? That's just too freaking softball.
What color eyes?
Oh. Easy dubs.
There's only two people on, Billy. I don't think anyone else can win.
When we conducted the interview, where was he dialing in from? Does anybody remember where he was dialing in from? He mentioned it right at. Oh, did he? Did I cut that off? I can't remember now. If that was at the beginning of the interview we were talking, I might have cut that off. His house.
Crushed it.
Wrong.
Got him.
Wrong.
It was either that or a hotel, baby.
All right. Hard questions. They want hard questions now. Damn, King. King just went France.
Like 7 hours late.
I know your internet's slow, but Jesus
fuck, that's a delay.
He's like,
fuck.
Good show. Are we starting the show?
Got that Chinese internet. I saved like $20. Just a slight delay. It's got to bounce all the way over.
His internet goes all the way around the Earth and back to space and now back.
The moon glare.
It's got that Starlink. It has to go up to space first. Tough.
It says the funny part is that King Smith is watching. And there's like 4 fucking answers, and he's like, France. It's like, you
France.
just tuned in.
Classic.
Such
All
a
right.
delay.
Last one. Not necessarily a hard one, but I don't think we didn't really talk about it all that much, which is how many Emmys was he nominated for in his career? The director, Michael John Warren. He's been nominated for an Emmy how many times?
Hold on. We'll give it a 30-minute delay.
We'll look for the answer tomorrow, Smith. Don't worry.
From Smith.
Billy, shut up. You've already won a prize. You can't win any more prizes. Shut up.
Don't you say that. Now everyone knows the answer, and they just got to repeat it.
It's just everybody's.
If Scott's throwing them off, he's just spitting random numbers again.
Oh, man. Angry Elf, look at you with the right answer. Congratulations. Yay. All right. Last one, just for shits and giggles.
YouTube's.
I'm trying to remember.
What time was this interview conducted?
Shut up. Not on time, that's for sure.
How
No, I
long
had
was
one,
it?
and you keep throwing me off. God damn it. What was the name? We mentioned it about 600 times. What was the name of the main character? Who is this documentary about? We mentioned his name. And even if you just give me the first name, I'll take it, because the last name's ridiculous.
Got it. And I spelled it wrong.
Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ.
He's a diver in his free time. Tell me before I remember. It's like Antonio or some shit.
So here's the thing. You guys are right, but nobody has spelt it correctly yet. You guys are right, though. His name is Alexi. That should be the quiz. Is how the fuck you spell it?
Like weird chats. I'm in a different chat now. I'm in the wrong page. All right, let me turn this off.
What are you watching?
I don't know.
Oh man. Let's see. How do you spell
Lexi?
it? I know it's Alexi, but the question is, how is it spelled?
Alexi.
No.
Alexse. Alesi.
All right. Anyway, it is where is it? Not the deepest
Jesus
breath.
Christ.
That's not the one. Ah, there it is. Alexi, Alexey. Nobody spelled it right.
You didn't say they had to spell it right. You just said,
No,
what's
I'm
his
not
name?
saying they had to spell it right.
You were saying no one spelled it right.
I'm just saying no one spelled it right. I said his name was Alexi. I just said
you're
his
talking
name.
about it. You know, like you had to advertise.
Molchanov, Alexi, which is
Balls
funny
gone
because
off?
it's not pronounced Alexi. It's pronounced Alex.
Say.
No, that was the weird thing.
Alexei?
Lexei.
Alexa.
Lexei? I don't know.
Alexa.
Alexia.
How do you say Alexi?
And no, Scott did not spell it right because I'm looking. Alexey. Forgot the E
buddy.
and the Y. Anyway, great documentary. It's definitely worth a watch, guys. If I think it's on Paramount Plus, I want to say. It's on Paramount Plus or Freediver will be available December. It's already available now, December 7th. Prime Video. It's available on Prime Video, licensed to Paramount Plus in Canada. So there you go. You can find it on Prime Video and Paramount Plus if you're in Canada. There you go.
Cool.
I have ADD tonight. Sorry. So there you go. Scott, Billy, Angry Elf. You guys win your prizes. Hit me up. We'll discuss on the side. But With that, we've come to the 10 o'clock hour. I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with us tonight.
Should you give a prize out to someone who hasn't never won? I thought you were going to do that.
Nobody said anything.
I thought someone said they never won. Was he
Yeah,
full
but
of shit?
they were lying.
Is it phony?
Phony.
Big fat phony.
Big fat phony. Is there anyone watching? Last call. Is there anyone watching right now? For reals. I mean, I keep records of all this stuff. If you've never won a prize from Pop Culture Warrior, is there anyone out there watching right now? Here's your chance. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I haven't, but you give me shit on
you don't count.
I don't need no charity.
You count for nothing.
Nobody said none.
No. The real question should be who hasn't won twice by now. There you go. Who hasn't won twice by now?
We only have 6 viewers, and we give out a prize like 5 times a month.
Listen, all right. I don't hear people complaining now. CQ has never won a prize on this show. That's true. My prize is all of these wonderful people.
My company. Every time I'm on,
that's my punishment. That's my punishment.
Gotta earn your way into heaven somehow.
This is my community service. Having to work with this guy. This is my community service.
It keeps getting caught molesting kids.
It's not true. Allegedly. You gotta say allegedly.
There's a bunch of baby oil in the background there.
Allegedly.
That Puff Daddy baby oil.
Hey, Smith. I know the King. You out there? You said this is something you never see pop up on yours. So I just wanted you to see once again. Because the other night we were streaming FTX, and he goes, "What's that message?" I goes, "Oh yeah, this is the message that you just pops up after 100 messages come in." He goes, "I've never seen that," and I went, "Well." Awkward.
The main 2 contributors are on this show. I'm just saying.
Got him. Oh man,
I got 3 viewers.
Can't help but throw one last burn at King. God bless you, man.
You'll see that in about 45 minutes.
An hour from now, I'm gonna get a text. Fuck, man.
That was a solid burn.
Bro, what the fuck? Man. King Smith should be King CQ. That's what I'm saying. All right.
Does
anyway,
it show that up on the restream or no? Is it an OBS thing? Would that show on restream or
yeah? It's a restream. It's a restream announcement. Look, watch. See, is it restream.io? Yes.
I can't see what you're seeing, but I believe you.
Yeah.
I got it when I hosted. It was like 1,000 or whatever, and it was like, yeah.
I got the diamond studded one.
Yeah,
encrusted.
Wow. Solid gold. They sent me a certificate.
Yeah, you got a plaque.
It's over there. It's over that way.
It's like holding just. See, look, I'm holding it. I'm holding it.
I'm holding it right here.
It's right here. I'm holding it. You don't see it.
It's right here.
Anyway.
We have no real content. It's fucking with each other the whole show.
Jesus Christ. This show has devolved into just us just making stupid jokes.
Guys don't talk about shit.
Only to us.
They had 2 topics and they talk for 45 minutes.
There you go. Hey, Susan, we love you. We appreciate you. She says, I commented on 3 different pages. God bless you, man. God bless you. You account for 6 of our viewers.
That's 3 more than I have.
Oh, we appreciate you. All right, guys. Let's I know we all do this all the time.
Win a prize? Is that what she's commenting? Does she want a fucking prize? Give her a prize. You want a prize, Susan?
Stop giving away my prizes. Stop giving away my prizes.
Give her a prize.
You don't get to give away my prizes. My prizes.
She's like, I haven't won. And you're like, thanks for commenting on all my pages.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's see.
Stop fucking making your dog shit on my lawn.
Shut up! I'm gonna mute you so that I can do this promo. God damn it! God, Jesus! Like one of those tickle me Emmos. It doesn't shut up. Anyway, moving on. Sunday nights here on WTF Nation Radio, we've got the Sports Bar with King and Coach, giving you all those sportsy news and updates. And one day he's even going to do interviews with sports people. I know it's been like 3 years, but he keeps saying next month.
You'll get 100. Hey, tune in, everybody, and get him 100.
Get him 100 messages so that he can feel good. Monday edition with Ice and Massey. They were on last night, giving you weeks of news and commentary, discussions, all those wonderful things. Tuesdays right here with CQ and soon to be ex co-host Mad Mike. As soon as I can find someone to replace him. And Wednesdays is Radar and TZ on the Smoke Pit. I think they're finally back. It took some time off as they were restructuring things, but I think they're back. Thursdays, Ice and Spanky on Sergeant Time. Every other Friday night is FTX, Friday Night Tabletop Exercise. We had a ball this past Friday. We were playing Exploding Kittens. Now, typically, if you watch FTX, we'll go through like 2 or 3 different games just to mix it up. We played from 8 p.m. Eastern till midnight, Exploding Kittens. Man, that was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed that game.
It was so long. I was waiting for Smith to come in and dominate. The first round was like 50 minutes. I was like, holy fuck, this is long.
By the end, it went a lot faster.
Yeah, because you got to explain everything 700 times.
I know, right? I have to.
Shit. You got a fucking Mr. Magoo playing. I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, you should have some criteria. Like, can you like something? Like, I don't know. Can you read? Can you see? Do you see colors? Like, before you fucking screen these people to come on your show. Maybe introduce people to the game before they show up to your house.
Listen, you know what? Real talk.
YouTube video.
Real talk. Back when we started, I would say, okay, you 5 are coming on the show, whatever. I would send them links to videos and breakdowns of how to play the game. No one ever watched them. So I stopped sending it. Nobody, they would always come in and go, "Nah, I didn't watch
it.
It
doesn't mean.
So I just stopped trying, and I was just like, "Fuck it, I'll explain it to you when we get here," because that's what I'm gonna end up doing anyway. So anyway,
time. You got 6 hours anyway.
Friday, it really adds to the streaming network. So tune in at 9:00, so that way you can see us playing the game
in motion,
in action, instead of me explaining the rules for an hour. That's why also
Kids is the easiest fucking game to learn too. That's what I was like trying to be nice. And I was like, holy fuck, my kids play this game.
And like, if you notice, week to week, the games have gotten simpler and simpler and simpler.
Next week we're gonna play Hangman. It's gonna be a real fucking hoop.
Next week's is Shoots and Ladders. And the week after that is Candyman or Candyland or whatever it was. The week after that is gonna be fucking Tic-Tac-Toe. Riveting stuff. We're gonna be playing Tic-Tac-Toe live.
Connect 4.
Watch me explain Tic-Tac-Toe to some 40-plus-year-old deaf, dumb, and blind veterans.
Triangles. It's a fucking circle or an X, you dumb fuck.
So how do I restart? Anyway, Scott says, you think CQ would have learned how online training would work and send out a PowerPoint and sign in roster. Yeah. So anyway, FTX. So no FTX this week. FTX will be back next Friday, December 20th. It'll be our final episode of the year. And I think we're going to be doing giveaways on FTX. So you want to win some games.
The 20th already?
Yeah, well, not this Friday. The next Friday is the 20th.
I said next Friday. No, yeah. I said next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah. So we'll be giving away some games, some extra games that we have access to. So tune in, hang out with us, grab a drink.
Board games or like video game codes?
Well, we're a board gaming show. What do you think?
You got extra board games just laying around?
I do. I have sometimes 3 and 4 copies of the same game. It's really sad. Very sad.
Expensive.
Yeah. And then finally, Saturdays, weekend co-ops with Nino, playing all the latest co-op-y games. Watch him have fun and tune in, watch him play games, and it's a good time. It's a lot of fun. All right. That's all. That's all I got.
That's it.
I mean, Jesus Christ, what more do you want from me? What more do I have to give?
They just want you to back me up, like always. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's tiring bringing you all this great content.
Next week, every headline
CQ
will be brought to
joining
you
me
by
next week.
Bad Mike.
He'll be joining me next week if he's not busy.
You know what? Next week, I'm going to put myself in the bubble. You're on main cam. You're running the show, and I'm just going to be the talking head that just bitches and whines and complains
We
about
already
everything.
did that. We already fucking did that.
We're going to do it again. Yes. I think that's everything. And yeah, last thing, like I said, we teased a little bit last week, was that come the first week of January, when we're relaunching Pop Culture Warrior version 2, all new everything. It's gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
We're dyeing the gray out of our beards.
First of all,
we're getting new t-shirts.
New
Same
everything
shirt for 5 years.
Yes, obviously, if you can tell, I'm a new hat.
He's gonna get a Trevor Lawrence wig.
I'm getting a new co-host. Starting with a new co-host, new everything. We're gonna put Mike in a triangle instead of a circle.
Yeah, bring all the hits.
New shape.
No expenses spared. I'm gonna have another light. I'm gonna
have a second
get
light.
A circle.
Yep. I'm gonna have a
Keep
square.
blocking it. I'm too lazy to fucking move it over 2 inches.
You haven't even set the damn thing up for colors, you weirdo.
It is on colors. It's on fucking
just
orange, but it doesn't translate in the video.
Aperture. Anyway, all right, peoples. Appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out. I'm out. We'll see you next week. Shuts.
Let's see it.